good late night, folkers? What's up? What's good? What's good?
The route guidance will start now.
The rain came down hard today. I tell you what.
Carson Street.
I'll tell you what, Bobby. The rain came down hard today.
Proceed about 8/10 of a mile to
It came down hard. The storm busted on through. It's not raining right now, but we had a good amount. So I'm happy about it. So on my earlier broadcast, earlier today, before work, Snap Turtle in the building. Snap Turtle in the truck. When you come up in here, please hit that like button. When you see this broadcast, when you see this broadcast later on, please hit that like button. If you don't like it, hit that down button. Down, whatever you gotta do. All right.
In half of a mile.
Don't just come up in here, take a peek, and
Street.
or listen or whatever, and not do something, interact. Anyway, in my earlier broadcast, I was talking about what was happening in Paradise, California, all right, and why they were burned out of there. Now, Paradise, California is pretty much a mountain town, right? It's kind of remote, and they're pretty self-sufficient, self-sustained. They got their own thing going on.
Next right, and then
it's pretty much Northern California, which is completely different type of. It's completely different than Southern California. All right. Many of Northern California areas are rural. They do a lot of farming out there. There's a lot of nature, a lot of trees, a lot of green, a lot of rivers and lakes. A lot of that going on up there. Some ranchers. You got a lot of ranchers up there. A lot of farmers. So, in Paradise, California is one of those, pretty much one of those farm states. And it's beautiful, right? Now, I just discovered something this morning about Paradise, California, all right? And it has to do with with something a realtor told someone about Paradise, California, and about the owners of the houses out there, or the owners of the properties. Because for the most part, the people that lived out there that own their homes own the land as well. Okay? So they own the land and they own the homes. And it was discovered, or not really discovered, but it was let known that Paradise is sitting on top of a lot of gold. There's a lot of gold in the ground in Paradise, California. Okay? A lot of gold. So, and it got hit pretty hard by these fires. And it was kind of strange because no trees got lit on fire, right? It was just pretty much all the homes, all the infrastructure out there. This whole bridge melted, okay? It got incinerated. And you could see, if you look at a picture, right, of a bridge in this fire.
Continue on.
All that concrete, all the asphalt is gone, and you can see the metal framing, or you can see the metal inside of the bridge or whatever. So, and you can see that around it, the trees and whatnot were left standing. It's just pretty strange, man. But yeah, it turns out that they're sitting on gold, and what's going to happen is that some land sharks, right? Some land shark realtors are going to come in and offer a great price to these people for their land. And they're going to suck all the gold out of there. And that may be a reason Paradise had to be sacrificed. At first, many people thought it had to do with Agenda 21. And to a degree it might, or the bullet train. But they're not going to build a bullet train through that mountainous region. So basically it had to do with the gold. And
Continue.
So what's important for these people to do that own these homes is to take rights of that gold. If you're going to sell the land, you take the rights of the gold and you sell the land. That way, and then you sign it to your family members, to your heirs. That way they can get the gold belongs to them. You know, it stays with them in perpetuity. Okay. So, yeah. Yep. So expect, and I hate to sound like this, but, you know, they really are they're really making a lot of moves. They're really repping shit up. And if you go with the theory that China essentially owns California now because of the debt, then it would make sense that our government, or the powers that be, wants to dig that gold up to kind of like quell China's, you know, need for that money back. You know what I'm saying? So they don't have to keep giving up land. Because even if all these world governments, all these superpowers are in on the whole 90% of the population decrease, that doesn't mean that they're going to want to share in everything. One group is going to want more than the other, and that's just plain simple truth of it. They're only in cahoots so far as the main goal is met, and that main goal is to depopulate. So that's basically how I look at it. You know, everybody thinks China, Russia, and the U.S. is in cahoots for this new world order, but nah, I don't think it's going down like that. I don't think that's the case, because if that were the case, then things would be moving a lot faster than they are now. If they were all in cahoots and they all had the same goals in mind, which is to share the wealth of the entire earth, then they would have ran up in the United States already and introduced martial law and all kind of shit. But like I keep saying, we are a huge commodity in the United States, and you know, the controllers of this nation, they want to hold on to this commodity for as long as possible. If they give that up, then, you know, good night Irene, right? So even though they want to reduce the population, they need it to be done very slowly, and they needed it to be done methodically, and they still need to make power moves. They still need to make power plays against Russia and China.
Continue.
So
I-110
basically, this is what's going down, right? In California is going to be a sacrificial state, basically. So they're going to do it for Agenda 21, or they're going to do it for China, or both. And yeah, we're always a model for some new shit, some newfangled shit going on. Okay, like all this green building and all that, all the green building that's still using all of the fossil fuel energy that we're using. It's not really any different. You know how much energy it takes to build these Tesla cars and all that? They still use fossil fuels to generate the parts for that. So, and then also you have to charge these things, and for the most part, electricity is ran off of generators that use fuel. You know, unless it's like a hydro plant.
North.
You know, and there are a few of those. But yeah, the thing is, like I was saying earlier, is we have to care about what happened in Paradise. Even though most of the residents were probably racist white folks, we still need to care what happened, what they did to them, if they indeed did something. If this was a deliberate fire that was set by, you know, people with nefarious machinations, then we need to give a fuck. You know, I hear it all the time, like, oh yeah, they was racist, they got what they got coming to them, and it was karma. But it wasn't karma that played a part in this. It might be to a degree. I'm not going to say it's not. But they don't care. Whoever did this did not care about them being racist, because it's not about oppressing just black folks or melanated people. It's about controlling and oppressing everyone that's not part of their elite group. If you're not one of the elites, if you're not in the 1%, then you're mud to them, and they only need you insofar as they need to keep shit going. And they figure, yo, I don't need 9 billion people on Earth. I can make do with 1 billion. Boom. And then that way we can do whatever we want. We can breed children to rape and to sacrifice. We can do this, we can do that. It's a cold game, man. It's a cold game. When you let these devils in, when you let these devils get what they want more. It's never enough. It's never enough. So you got to keep that in mind. The end goal is to control everything. That's the end goal. Nothing will be out of their control. Nothing will be out of their sight. They want eyes and ears everywhere. This is what this 5G is about. Right? The Internet of Things. The Internet of Things. That's what 5G is about. And what the Internet of Things is connecting everything that we use in our daily lives to connect to the Internet. That's what the Internet of Things is. So, once they achieve that with this 5G, there goes all of our privacy. We barely get any now. But when that 5G rolled through, oh yeah, it's going to be on, man. That 5G is going to be a weapons grid. It's going to be a surveillance grid. It's going to be all that. They can control and manipulate molecules, all right? The molecules that the human body interacts with and uses every day for living, they can manipulate that with this 5G. They can ramp it up. They can turn it down. Oh, man. Yeah. You think that Paradise shit was bad. Oh. It's about to get real. Okay? It's about to get real. And, you know, I mean, we just got to bring about that awareness, man. We got to wake everybody up. Listen, if we have issues with the others as melanated people, perhaps we need to put that aside for a moment so that we can focus on the real enemy, okay? The real enemy are those people who basically control the government. The shadow government. So that's the common enemy, and that's if they have these bad designs on us. You know, nothing is proven yet, right? We're assuming.
Left turn at the end of the road.
It's a conspiracy theory. I am essentially a conspiracy theorist. You know, but I look at shit. I try to connect the dots. Okay. I try to determine how everything relates. And everything that I've been seeing, everything I've been observing points to this shadow government pointing weapons at everyone. Not just black people, not just Hispanics, not just Asians, not just poor white folks. Everyone. Everyone that's not part of their program. So we need to get with the program. We need to get with our program. I don't know exactly how to do that, though.
Proceed about 2
because
miles to South Van Ness Avenue.
If you ever trying to get leaders to come together, leaders of different groups to come together to form a coalition that benefits everyone, oh man, That's the hardest part. It's the hardest part, you know, because everybody has an ego, right? It's all about egos. You know, I think it was Walden, right? No, I forgot his name. There's one of these authors from back in the day, all right? He was a socialist, okay? Basically, he was a Marxist, a socialist, whatever, who formed a communion, right? A commune with a bunch of people. And he had this idea. Now, there were not supposed to be any leaders, right? Everyone was supposed to be equal. Everyone was on the same footing, right? But his thinking was that even if you don't start off with leaders, right? Someone is always going to try to step up to take charge, right?
Turn ahead.
And they're going to have this greed about them for more power. So they're going to start doing things to gain more power. Even though you started off, okay, we don't have any leaders, we don't have any bosses, we don't have any kings, we don't have any presidents, okay? It may start off like that.
2 miles.
But there's always that one person that's going to want to start running shit, okay? And the problem with that is your ego gets bigger, you start getting greedy, you greed for more power. And then when someone questions you, or when someone opposes your thinking or opposes your ideas, you start behaving like a tyrant, okay? You start bumping heads with everyone, and it turns into this big thing, right? It turns into, basically, it might end up turning into a monarchy, right? It might end up turning into a democracy. Well, that's what it was supposed to be in the first place. It might turn into a democratic republic, which is what we have now. It might turn into a dictatorship. It might turn into an authoritarian regime. So it's always going to be someone who wants to be at the top, who wants to be above everyone else, who wants to have their ideas fleshed out, right? Or a group of people, a group of like-minded people that have a lot of influence, that have the gift of gab, that everyone likes, you know what I'm saying? It's usually those type of people. The slick talking, dream selling motherfuckers that always want to be at the head of shit. They always want to be the one. The same goes, and I know just within the black community alone, like the black woke community, right? You might have the new Black Panther Party. You might have the NOI. You might have all these different groups, right? All these different black community groups, right? They might try to come together to work together, but someone is always going to want to be that nigga, that alpha male, okay? And, you know, the alpha male is important. But at the same time, a good alpha male knows how to be practical. They know how to listen to other ideas. They know how they can take things in and they can help execute everyone's ideas. Okay? You can put plans to action. That's what being a good alpha male is all about, right? That's what being a good leader is all about. Being a good leader is not just about, oh, it's only my idea, it's only what I want. Fuck your shit, fuck your ideas. Nah, man. That's that bullshit. That's what brings us down. Okay? A good alpha male knows how to say, yo, you know, what can we do? Anybody got any ideas? I'm kind of stuck here. Please help me out. I mean, we all need to come together and think about this shit. That's what a good leader does.
To West Vernon Avenue.
You know, and a leader leads by example. And that's the alpha male. People confuse alpha males for like this just dickhead that runs around pushing everybody about and throwing their weight around and
West Vernon Avenue.
barking. Or nah, man, that's not what an alpha male is. Nah, man. What it is when your alpha gets tested, you're able to prove that you're alpha when someone else decides that they want to bump you out of position, right? You know, they want to bump you out of position, and they might get a little buck. At that point, your alpha
about 9/10 of a mile
might have to
your destination.
come on out. You might have to bring that alpha out a little more. But until that time, you're not just being a dickhead to everybody, running around bossing everyone and barking orders. That's not what that's all about. While you're sitting there in your fucking lawn chair or your chaise lounge or whatever, sipping on a Mai Tai. Nah, that's not how that shit works. That's being a dick. Okay. Now, also as an alpha male, you got to be able to defend your people. Okay. So the problem is when you get all these groups together, what happens is that ego comes through, and everybody wants to be the alpha male or some shit, you know. And that's what happens with these groups. That's why we're so divided, because you have this group. You got the House of Consciousness. You got the new Black Panther Party. You got the Huey P. Newton Gun Club. You got all this different shit going on. You know, and there's nothing wrong with having these different groups, but we need to talk amongst each other. We need to come up with ideas. We need to move our people forward. Okay? I just wanted to bring up that whole Paradise, California thing, because who knows where else we might have a lot of gold. Who might be sitting on a lot of gold, or some resource that that could be used, that they want. Who knows? You know, who knows what's going on with that? So, yeah, it's just I ain't really talking about nothing right now. Shit, about to pull up to the house.
In a quarter of a mile, your destination is ahead.
You know what I'm saying? As you see, old girl's telling me my destination's ahead. So, yeah. So just pull our heads out of our asses and bring our heads together for the greater good, so that we can defend what we have left, which is our humanity. That's all we need to do. We need to defend our humanity. We need to defend humanity in general. We need not to be
You have arrived at your destination.
Forced into these stack and pack cities, these mega cities that they're planning on implementing. We need to have our freedom of movement. We need to have all our freedoms intact, and they're under attack. Our freedoms are under attack, and we can't just sit there and expect the shit to get better, you know, by osmosis. Shit ain't gonna happen like that. Shit's got to be. Something has to be put into action. Okay. So I'm here at the house. I'm about to get off this. So hit that like, hit that share. Subscribe if you're new to my channel. If it's your first time seeing me, go ahead and subscribe. All right. I'll holler at y'all tomorrow. Peace.